USC has a mantra called "Fight On." You put these two fingers up, and I know Mike's probably like, "Let me use your number 2." Okay, whatever, Mike. So, well, a lot of Trojan fans think this is a V for victory, and it is. But really, where the sign comes from, this hand sign, is when the Trojans, the actual Trojans, would go into battle, they put up this hand sign to their fellow soldiers before they go into battle as a promise, the declaration that no matter what happened in that battle, they were going to continue to fight on. If everything went wrong to the point where they were left with a beating heart and these two fingers, they were going to continue to fight on. Why? Because with these two fingers and a beating heart, they could do two things still. They could hold a sword and they could pull a bow and arrow. Now, I don't know how practical that is. That's a heck of a mindset to take in a battle. It's a heck of a mindset to take into a setback, into our problems. That, hey, if everything goes wrong here, and I'm left with the bare minimum, that I'm going to continue to have that mindset to fight on. I'm not going to let it stop me. My personal definition of resilience is if there's a will, there's a way. If there's a will, there's a way. Now, unfortunately, I think a lot of people in life flip that. They say, well, if there's a way, then I'm going to have the will. That's a luxury we're rarely afforded in life. A lot of times we're walking without being able to see where we're going. And that's why we're asked to walk by faith, not by sight. Take it from the one guy in this room who literally can't see where he's going. You have to take steps in life, especially when facing uncertainty and especially when facing change, where you're not going to necessarily see where you're going. You determine that will first, that you're going to continue to walk forward. When I wanted to play football after losing my eyesight, I did my 8th grade year. It was middle school flag football. It was cute. We still found a way for me to play. I was center, so I could still snap the ball to the quarterback. He'd clap his hands, and I just kind of snap the ball. It was cute, fun. When I went to high school, all of a sudden I lost the will to play football. I didn't lose the love for football. I didn't lose the desire to play football, but I lost the will, meaning I let excuses blur my judgment to the point where I said, I don't belong on that field. I let other people tell me, Jake, you don't belong on that field. I lost that self-belief and that resilience. And so I spent the first 2 years of my high school career in the stands Friday night, watching my friends play this game I love so much, just dreaming about a world, a reality where I wasn't blind, where I could actually do this and have fun. And finally, about the end of my sophomore year, I came to my senses. I said, Jake, you made yourself a promise coming home from the hospital that day that you wouldn't let blindness rob you of the things you love. You wouldn't let blindness stop you from enjoying the things you love in life. Again, you were going to have a will to succeed, a vision for your future, a strive and drive mentality. And so I said, okay, I realize what I've done here. I'm going to set my will to want to play this game. Now it's about finding that way.